Who that?
I knew you was gonna say it, so I wanted to say it first.
That's a bet. How are you?
Fine.
That's good. The week's been okay so far, even though it's the beginning.
I'm gonna say it's a Monday. Mondays are shitty for me.
How so?
I don't know. I just feel like I don't be getting enough rest on the weekends.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Maybe it's because of doing too much on the weekends.
We be doing the same thing, so yeah.
It's just a mix of a lot of things. But we've made it to another week, which also means another episode.
Yeah.
Welcome in to Grown Ass Kids.
Yeah. I'm Tay.
I'm
Daddy.
TJ. Oh. One more time.
Tay Daddy.
And I'm TJ.
Yeah.
No extra anything. Unless you want to give me, but not you, but listeners.
It'd be better for you to go ahead and leave than to not have your stuff.
And that was a famous quote.
No.
You know it. Hashtag grown ass kids. And
I think I fucked it up though.
Well,
it's fine.
What'd you say?
I think I fucked it up. I think
just say it one more time.
I think it'd be better for you to go ahead and leave and get your stuff later.
We can send your luggage.
Yeah, we can send your luggage.
That ain't that deep. But you know she didn't say that. I just added that.
Yeah.
If you know it, you know it. But here we are. We're going to move on to our politics section with Tay. Tay what? What'd you say the end part of it was? Tay Daddy.
I bet you about to stick to this. Don't let me do that dumb shit. But, so.
Asterisk in front of the episode.
I'm not.
I couldn't tell.
It's just lying. Don't do me. I'm not doing this with you. We just did this off air. I'm not doing this with you.
I ain't said a word.
So, this week in politics, we're going to talk about Doug Jones.
Who's Doug Jones?
Doug Jones just defeated Roy Moore last week for an Alabama Senate election.
Mm-hmm. I know you guys seen it on Twitter.
By the way, Roy Moore still hasn't conceded, but he's
pedophile.
That
he do anything, so. But
he's also a salty white man who can't accept his mediocrity. So there's that.
Isn't that most? Never mind.
Yeah. So since his victory, shout out to black women. Jones has sat down for a few interviews where he was asked a few questions about what's currently going on in Washington. Mm-hmm. So he told Jake Tapper on CNN State of the Union that he doesn't agree with some of the people in his party. He's a Democrat, by the way. He doesn't agree with some of the people in his party who say that Trump should resign from office over the sexual harassment and sexual assault allegations against him. He said, quote, "Those allegations were made before the election, and so people had an opportunity to judge before that election." Continued to say that it's time to move on.
So with that, I feel as if, even with that, someone shouldn't be able to get away with all the bullshit they actually done, especially someone like Trump. So for you to make it in office, and we expected you to come with a different message, different, process for Alabama, in which they were under a person that was a fucking pedophile.
No, Alabama was Jeff Sessions. Correct? Yeah, Alabama was Jeff Sessions. Sorry. And the reason why they had a special election is because Jeff Sessions is now the Attorney General Keebler elf type person. But so Roy Moore.
So reiterate it for the people, just because they might be as uneducated as me.
Yeah. So the reason why they had a Senate election is because Jeff Sessions was a senator of Alabama, and now he's the Attorney General. So in order to fill his spot.
And those were the two candidates, which was Roy Moore and Doug Jones.
Right.
Wow. That makes it even worse. But either way,
Doug Jones is the same person who prosecuted the KKK for the bombing in Birmingham.
But as you speak to mediocrity, why are you allowing something like this to be even a part of your message? As soon as you come on, that should be the first thing that you should be condemning, because I'm pretty sure the people that voted for him expected that those things to actually happen, for him to condemn that shit for happening. Because I mean, as soon as the guy from the National Black Caucus, the older black guy, I forgot his actual name.
His name is his name is.
But as soon as he was accused of those allegations of the things he done, he actually got like really stressed. He actually even had to go to the hospital. But they condemned the fuck out of him.
Right, and they condemned Al Franken too, which is how this.
And he stepped down as well.
Right, this is how this. You said what?
John Conyers.
John Conyers is the guy from the Black Caucus, but they condemned Al Franken too, which is how this conversation came about. It's also important to note that Doug Jones never actually spoke out against Roy Moore during this whole thing, which not to say that he should have, but he pretty much just kind of like focused on his own race and didn't really run a smear campaign against Roy Moore. He kind of just focused on the issues. He also incorporated black communities in a lot of issues, which is why about 98% of black women voted for Doug Jones. And so, shout out to black women.
Shout out to black women.
But this also just goes to show that, like, putting a Democrat in office isn't just enough for us. Mm-hmm. We need to put more, like, people. We need to put, like, more black women in power. Like, don't just say, oh, thank you, black women, for saving us or whatever. Y'all always, like, follow the black women. Yeah. Follow the black women, thank us, but take the opportunity to put us in positions of power. Put us on on your campaigns. Put us in office. Things will get done.
And I feel like I just almost did like an All Lives Matter thing to you right then, because I
you were about to, and I saw it. We and you be talking about that sometimes.
But with this part, not this, because I was going to speak about the smear campaign. I was going to be like, maybe, because I was expecting a lot of him to bash Trump, to bash Roy Moore. But that might not have been his style anyway, so I can't judge him on what he actually did within his campaign. He might have just ran it the way that he wanted, how he felt internally. But
I mean, yeah, like his record kind of speaks for itself anyway. Like, he prosecuted the KKK. He's been very like proactive on social issues and things like that. Just when it came to sexual I'm not gonna call it sexual misconduct because that's what they've been calling it now. But just when it came to like what Roy Moore actually did, or allegedly did, or what Trump has been accused of doing.
Shout out to the middle schooler.
He kind of just like, not shout out to the middle schooler. He kind of just like said, oh, well, we got more things to do.
Yeah, but I was on the smear campaign. But as far as, who was the person you said again? What was it? You were talking about, you were speaking out about Doug Jones, like your second question you just posed.
That we need to put more black women in office?
Right. I was going to All Lives Matter that. I feel like we should just put all POCs in color, or just more POCs in color, because it gives different perspective and different thought, because they're not going to come with the same, viewpoints as your typical white male or typical white older male.
I'm going to counter that by saying that as a black woman, I'm often asked by black men to put my race ahead of my sex. Gender. Is that the right word? Yeah. I'm often asked to put my race ahead of my gender. Like, a lot of black leaders, especially male leaders, will say, like, oh, like, stand up for the black man, like, do this for us, but don't necessarily do this for me. And then I'm also going to say that when it comes to actually, like, standing up for things, it's always the black women that are for the most part, it's the black women that are in the streets fighting, or it's the gays that are in the streets, not the gays, the LGBT community that's in the streets fighting. Like, even if we sit here, and I don't even want to, like, call you out like that, but even if we sit here and look at, like, the NFL, like, boycott, black women were like, nah, we're not here for it.
Yeah, my cousin still is not watching. A lot of my cousins aren't.
Okay.
But in the same breath, I was just saying in the same breath, POC, but definitely black women, because they showed up for the election with Trump, even though we won the popular vote, but, we lost another part. But
black women always show up.
They showed up then. They showed up now with this Senate race in Alabama. So you may be right. I mean, we just got to get y'all in office, but we got to get some people to actually get behind them. Get in. You guys are on social media all the time. Make these people viral. Be creative. Like the kids of Alabama, you know what to do. If you know this lady, make some creative videos with her. People connect with her, so we can actually get like more actual social coverage for these people, because that's where we all connect nowadays anyway. It seems like it for the most part.
Right. And I think, like, just as a community in general, we have to stop finding things that are wrong with black women. Like, not even just with politicians, but we often do this with like rap artists, with actresses and everything. There's always like something that's problematic about black women. We don't ever want to like lift them up. Even other black women do it to themselves also, like the pick-me's and stuff like that. We need to just get behind each other and stop trying to look for the issue.
Okay. You prove a very solid point, and I agree. We love you, black women. Thank you for putting this man in office. Hopefully he doesn't bullshit us and give us a terrible term in Alabama. I hope you guys have like an actual senator that does what he says he's going to do and sticks to his word, but we're in America, so.
Well.
I wanted to end it off on a good note, but still trying to keep it in perspective. But congratulations to Doug Jones. A lot of people championed you. A lot of black people as well. So we'll just see what happens going forward.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it for the political section. What's for pop culture?
So this week, I kind of wanted to touch on Mr. Jerry Richardson. Jerry Richardson is a 81-year-old former NFL player, or former, if we want to say correct words. And he owns the Panthers. He also is the name for my stadium, to my alma mater, UNC Charlotte.
Oh.
They named it after him.
Interesting.
So, as reported by Deadspin, the Panthers announced on Friday that they've opened up an investigation into what we've learned are accusations of workplace sexual harassment and racial abuse by team owner Mr. Richardson. And by Sunday, the team had announced that Richardson would sell his ownership share in the offseason. And a new report says he'll no longer make decisions for the team, effective immediately.
Okay.
So basically, he's not the owner anymore. He's not the COO anymore. Like, they got him the fuck out of here. So all these things began to transpire even before the NFL investigation. I couldn't find exactly when it began, but like someone basically made the accusation that he had been like allegedly mistreating players and like sexual harassment claims as well. But as soon as the NFL actually jumped into it, he was just like, nah, fuck it. Like, I know it's gonna get really deep, and he may have actually done these things. But as reported by Newsday, the new owner, or the intermediate owner right now, is a woman named Tina Becker. She's actually a former cheerleader for the Panthers.
Oh, really?
Yep. And she became the squad's coach over the years and just basically elevated herself through the ranks like any other, not any other person. Congratulations to her for doing what she did, because she was also president of entertainment for like a couple years as well.
Oh, cool.
Before she even got here. So congrats to her. With that, with him no longer being the owner, he made a statement saying that he would sell the team.
I mean, yeah.
At the end of the year, as soon as the year ends.
So this year, like 2017.
Well, as soon as the NFL season ends.
Okay, so February. Yeah.
So speaking of ending, I wanted to kind of talk about the actual estimation of what they actually cost and like their net worth or whatever for the Panthers.
I want to buy an NFL team one day, so this would be interesting.
And I'm going to remember this, and it's actually on record that you just said that.
I said I wanted to do that. Not the Panthers, but yeah.
Okay. I remember Network.
Network too. I love the Panthers, but realistically speaking, I couldn't buy the Panthers.
Why?
Because one, they're up for sale right now, and two, it'd be better off for me.
That was a good save.
Yeah, but two, no, I love the Panthers. That's my favorite team.
Oh, okay.
But I was saying it would be easier for me to be able to buy a team that's like that has a history of not having a good season, so that way it's not worth that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like at one point I said the Buffalo Bills, because there's multiple New York teams, and then there are multiple New York teams, and then the Bills weren't doing that well to where I could come and revamp stuff and people wouldn't necessarily like put up that big of a fuss.
Nigga, you trying to buy the Bills?
I was, but now they're pretty good now. I can own the team without living in New York.
You had to be there for a little bit.
But anyway, keep going.
So the Panthers are valued at $1.56 billion. But when Richardson first bought them, he paid $140, so he definitely got a great bargain.
I'm almost there.
For his hey, man. God is good.
I'm lying.
God is good. But all of that brings me to this. Our forever changing named, old, Diddy bopping,
not forever changing,
Harlem shaking, ad-lib king, behind the Migos.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Before the Migos. Diddy has made his Twitter press release that he would like to buy the Panthers. And he asked, Twitter to retweet this. I don't know, like, if that's supposed to help him, like, get some more money. I don't know, like, exactly what him or people retweeting is going to do. I understand, like, that gives you some social buzz. Maybe sell some more Ciroc right now. But even Richardson said that I'm not going to take any claims or going to, like, listen to anything anybody says until the season actually ends.
Well, also, from the video that I saw, he already fucked up like 3 times.
I should have played that video. Because
he definitely called them the North Carolina Panthers, which technically they are located in Charlotte, but they're really the Carolina Panthers because they practice in South Carolina.
True.
He also said...
To put it in perspective.
He also said he would replace Kaepernick with Cam Newton, which I want Cap to have a job, but...
Not there.
Not there.
It don't make sense.
Cam Newton's already a franchise quarterback. So that's like a bad business move.
He wasn't really thinking.
And then also...
He just wanted to say some shit.
I mean, I would want Cap to play for the Panthers too, but he would have to be a backup quarterback, realistically speaking.
And there's that.
He was better than a good portion of the quarterbacks when he was in the league, but he wasn't better than Cam.
Because I don't think at any point in his career he was better than Cam.
Yeah.
And that's just me being honest. Cam Newton came in, even in his first season, he had his ups and downs, but like...
What made Cam Newton a threat was that on third downs he converted.
And then taking this team to the playoffs, like, what, about 2 or 3 years now?
Yeah.
So, I don't think Cap...
With, mediocre receivers.
Cap took them once.
Yeah.
Took them once, I believe.
He took them to the Super Bowl once. Cam took them to the Super Bowl once. But the Panthers have consistently been in the playoffs.
And had better, seasons and records than fucking the 49ers.
Yeah.
But I just want to kind of talk about Diddy's net worth and how much it actually would take to actually buy the team. So Forbes states that Diddy's net worth is estimated $820 million. So he will require more than just Curry's help. Curry actually also retweeted Diddy and saying, I want in to help you do it. As if you guys don't know, Curry is a North Carolina native. I believe he's actually from Charlotte.
Davidson.
Davidson is a small town right outside of Charlotte, like 30 minutes.
Forbes used to love Steph Curry when he went to Davidson.
Forbes valued the Panthers at $2.3 billion. The NFL has altered its ownership rules in recent years, but a single incoming owner must still control at least 30% of the equity of the team to satisfy the league's rules and debt limits, which are capped at $250 million. That means one person must write a check for a minimum of $600 million if they want to be the controlling owner.
How much is Diddy worth?
Diddy is net worth at $820 million.
Oh, so he can't buy the Panthers regardless.
So it made sense for him to retweet it just to revolve like the point around. Like it made sense for him to put it on Twitter because now he can get other people that might not have known that he wants to buy it. Maybe pitch some money in and help him out as we got Curry.
He still has to own 30%, which would be $600 billion.
But people can easily just give him the money.
But he wouldn't own it.
If they give him the money.
I don't think it works like that.
How does it work?
Because if they give him the money, then that means he owes them money. They'd be better off putting money into the team and not giving him money. We're thinking in
our perspective. These people may just want to help him out. So they might just toss that to him.
Why would I want to help Diddy out when he's one of the richest celebrities? Like, he's literally one of the richest people in hip-hop.
There's people richer than him, and they're black.
Who? Like, I mean,
I can't give you no examples.
What self-respecting rich black person?
It could be bank owners. It could be anybody. What is the name of that bank that Charlamagne and them been speaking about?
What in the history? It must be a black bank, but realistically speaking, how many banks do you know black owned that have that much money to just loan out?
Not off top.
Okay.
But I'm not saying they're going to give him all of it. Clearly, it's going to be more than just one person. It's going to be like a bunch of people that
I feel like there are bigger rules than like, oh, you could take out a loan or something like that, or somebody will loan you money.
I don't think that works like that. Maybe.
This is a whole football team.
It's not him taking a loan though.
So they just gonna give him the money and just say like, okay, here, you got it. Don't worry about it.
We want a black owner in the league.
And they just gonna loan him millions?
Hey, it's a thought that I can grasp either, but it can happen.
Cause I'm not just gonna hand Diddy like $100 million to help him out and not expect nothing out of it, to be partial owner or.
I mean, it says he has to own at least 30%, right?
So 30% of it would be $600 billion. His net worth, if his net worth is $820 million, he doesn't have enough.
Well, hopefully somebody will help him along the way, which is my hopes that he can actually get it.
I don't actually want him to buy the Panthers.
Why? Because even at pitch, he was like, y'all gonna have the latest music.
I want a black owner, yes.
Kaepernick actually kind of put his thoughts in there, too, that he wanted to be a part of it.
Fine. I want a black owner. I just don't think Diddy's the one. And I ain't got time for bandwagon Panthers fans because now we got a black owner. Like, I've been here. I've been a Panthers fan since Justin Timberlake whipped her titty out, whipped Janet Jackson's titty out. Like, don't play me. I was here.
She had, like, a nice little, like, star, like, emblem on her.
TJ. Wow.
Titty.
But, like, I was here. And I would rather, like, Diddy be having shady business practices.
I'm not saying that I want Diddy to do it, but I'm saying that if it were to happen, he wouldn't be the worst person to be in that position.
Maybe not.
Because maybe he wasn't really within, if we're going to talk about shady business practices, those music moves. I mean, these were people that were on TV.
You already talked about replacing Kaepernick for a franchise QB. Bad business. Cam Newton is the Carolina Panthers.
And you know what? You know what you are? Right.
Yeah.
And I can't disagree with that at all. So this went from us trying to... Maybe it opened the discussion to having a black NFL owner in the league. I agree with that. We do need a black NFL owner in the league because guess what? I don't know of any.
But it probably shouldn't be Diddy. I mean, I'll take it, but can we just not play with my Panthers? Like,
well,
because even if you look at like Cam Newton went viral this week just because of his that little clip where it was like, oh, it's a wheel route. It's a wheel route. He said, oh, it's a wheel route. Right. Watch this.
Right.
And then threw in the end zone. But like he goes viral all the time, whether it be like
McCaffrey, he's having a good. I'm sorry.
He is having a good year. Whether it be like for him like dancing, for what he wears, even when he says dumbass shit. Like Cam Newton is the face of the Panthers, and Cam Newton is almost always in the news for like doing something. He's talked about almost just as much as Odell Beckham Jr.
He has so much philanthropic work that he actually does in Charlotte too.
Yeah, he does.
It's been so many like galas I've seen him at with just like people that I know within Charlotte. So
right.
He actually is a really good.
He says dumb stuff, but yeah, definitely.
Because he's not the smartest. But now that we got all the logistics out of the way to kind of know like what's going on there, I wanted to talk about this fuck face or fuck faces. You don't see the other guy's face because it's one person, lady talking, guy on the phone. But they're part of this show it's actually a virtual like show, like a virtual fucking like news station. Kron. The Kron is actually the name of the network. But it's a morning news show. Supposedly, I guess Daria is actually based here in DC. So it's Daria Folsom and Gary Radnich, which is also a television host, radio host, and he's actually a part of this show as well as the sports anchor. They had a video in which they said, I'll just actually let people listen to it rather than say it, and then we'll have a discussion.
Not a large amount, but I can definitely kick in $5. By the way, how can you take Diddy seriously?
You don't?
The guy was high right there in that video. He was like, he just smoked a blunt and drank a 40, and he said, look, I will buy them right now. I'm not taking him seriously.
Really?
Daria, no. You gotta stay in your comfort zone.
I
If
see.
you know music, go and do your music thing.
I don't really even know what Diddy does anymore. Yeah, what does Diddy do? What does even Diddy do?
Diddy's drinking and smoking right now. I told you. You can tell by looking at this video. The man was in another world. You can't take everybody for their work. You know, last week I talked to you and you really thought...
Okay, y'all, this is
Video of Diddy.
breaking news. The North Carolina Panthers, okay? North Carolina Panthers are up for sale. I believe it's time to turn the franchise over to new ownership. Well, I need to send a message out to everybody in the beautiful state of North Carolina. I will be the best NFL owner that you can imagine. I will immediately address the Colin Kaepernick situation and put him in the running for next year's starting quarterback. It's just competition, baby. It's just competition. But also, I will have the best halftime show, the best selection of music, and we will win Super Bowl after Super Bowl.
All right. So, white people, I'm going to start with y'all. You guys don't get to talk about us like that. You know? We get to talk about our people like that, so I'm going to get your ass first. We're tired of you guys always trying to impose your fucking thoughts and wills on our fucking people like that. Diddy may be the greatest owner to date in this NFL league because guess what? He's black and he knows how to treat his that almost was problematic. He knows how to treat his people that work for him. I don't want to say they are considered employees, correct?
Yes, technically.
Technically, they're his employees, but he will treat them with the utmost respect compared to you white fucks or the white fuck that just left out of there. So how about you roast fucking Jerry Richardson and his alleged piece of shit ass the same way? Like, how did you feel about that video after fucking hearing it?
So, I'm just tired.
Did you hear them? Like they were like fucking laughing,
assuming that all
Diddy
black
was
people
drunk,
do
so
is then
it's hard to like
TJ.
It's hard to like to help him like when he was just drunk as shit.
He might have been, but that's besides the point.
Thank you.
He should have been, but that's besides the point. I feel like
he held the camera.
I'm just gonna say that it's no surprise that black people are held under more scrutiny than white people are.
There we go.
And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
He held the screen for like 2.5 seconds in front of the North Carolina Panthers emblem. Like, I mean, he got me saying it. The Panthers emblem for like 2.5 seconds after saying North Carolina Panthers. Like, nobody else knew what the Panthers were. And he looked like he was on... You know how, like, people make their own websites and post it online? He looked like he was on, like, one of those blog sites that was just, like, like a fucking, like, Weebly.
You're not helping their case.
Oh, shit. That just...
What's the Working While Black segment?
You know what, Diddy? Hold your head up, fam. You know, hope you niggas help you out.
What is the Working While Black segment?
My nigga. For Working While Black today... I wanted to discuss why representation in the workplace is important. Okay. And I want to touch on 2 personal experiences, and then I wanted to talk to you about it. Okay. So these are short and sweet. It starts with my little brother. In the last episode, I kind of went over what I've done, you guys. I'm still not shit, but either way, I've worked within video. I've worked for an actual NBA team already. So even my little brother, he wants to be an NBA player anyway, but he was just telling me, like, I want to work for, like, I want to work within sports now in whatever fashion I can, kind of just because I've seen you doing it. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I wish I could give, this is corny as fuck, but I wish I could just get, like, my family, like, when I say family, like, my grandmother or somebody, just talk about how the shit just, like, changed out of nowhere, like, for me, because there's no way I would have ever thought I would have worked for the fucking Hornets. Because I remember even bringing it up to myself when I moved to Charlotte from Fayetteville, saying, like, I'm going to work for all these teams here. And then I actually did work for, like, 2 out of the 3. That's good.
You worked for a good amount of them.
So just having my little brother to tell me that was dope as hell to me. So having just, like, his brother coming from the same place that he came from, knowing that, oh, I can still, actually be something and make something of myself coming from this small town and not really having, like, all these media courses or art courses or whatever. Because he was even asking me what classes I took in high school, and I was like, same classes you taking, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't anything extra for us.
Yeah.
And then my little cousin, when I actually moved here to Maryland, the literal first day I walked in the house and was talking to my cousin, she was just like, oh, I heard you, moving here, happy to have you here. And then she was just like, you've always like inspired me. Like you just always like you were speaking well, and I see like what you've just been doing in your career, and like and she loves basketball as well, but she didn't really speak on the horns or anything. But she was just like, you inspired me to just like continue to be better and try and like keep on top of my grades and stuff like that. And those little things mean so much in that you don't really know. Like so. It could probably mean the same things to these people that see like figures that we see on TV, like maybe like a Kaepernick or just anybody like that has actually done something well that's actually of our culture.
Yeah,
so those are two reasons I was thinking about why representation in the workplace is important, because they might actually be like, I could do this job too. TJ ain't shit, but not like in a bad way, but like we know him. Right. We know he's able to do these things. I can do these same things. So I kind of want to talk to you about your experiences, or if you had any thoughts on it.
No, representation is definitely important. Sometimes I don't realize how much it matters until I actually like see it. Yeah. Like maybe for me, like growing up, I didn't think much about representation just because.
I definitely wasn't there when we was growing up.
But see, I had it though, because like my godparents were always there, or at least my godmom was there, and so she pretty much set the tone for how I wanted to live. Like she was a communications major. I majored in communications. They wanted me to apply for the same school. I did, but that wasn't where I wanted to go. Like, but I followed in her footsteps as far as what I wanted to do. And now, even though like I kind of have gotten to that point, not in my career, but I've taken that path, and even still I want to steer a different way to do movies and film and stuff. I can still look and say like, oh, like she worked at this radio station, so I did an internship at a radio station. Like, I look up to Ava DuVernay or, like, Issa Rae or Oprah. Like, I always looked up to Oprah. When I said I wanted my own network, I was just like, Oprah got a network. Like, I want one. Mm-hmm. So I definitely believe representation is important, because I don't know if I would be able to say, like, out my mouth, like, oh, I want to be like this person. And I don't know if I would think that it was possible if I didn't see these people. So I just hope that one day somebody will look at me. Maybe my niece looks at me like this, but I'm not quite sure because she sees different sides of me. But I hope one day like somebody will look at me and just say like, oh, like I want to be like Tay because Tay did this or Tay did that. I hope my kids looked at me like when I used to work at that summer camp, looked at me and said like, yeah, Miss Tay don't care about what nobody thinks. She does this, that, and the third. So maybe one day. One kid did tell me they wanted to go to my school, and I was, like, flattered.
And that's where it starts, because they don't know anything about school. I even had people back home just be like, I never thought about school. Like, I didn't think college was for me. I didn't think I could go to college. But that's why it's important that we actually, I remember even when I was back in high school, we had, like, students or former students to come in and speak about what they're doing now, whether it was military or whatever. But, like, just having these successful people come back, same with my mentor, coming back helping us. And she was 24. I'm 24 now. She was 24 when she came back and was helping us, like, with anybody that went to my high school. Know, like, what was it? Teens Be Global. I think that was the name of it. And she would just teach us about, like, at war with statistics, going against the odds stacked against you, being better, and all those things. So when you have people that come back and do those things, you actually, like, get, like, some people will get a drive within themselves because they'll feel like they could do it. But, we would love for you guys to continue this conversation with #GrownAssKids. If you wanted to send us an email about, I actually have one more thing to touch on. If you wanted to send us an email about your personal experiences, anything that's happened at work, anything like that, you can email us at workingwhileblackdaily@gmail.com. You can add us on Twitter at WWBDaily. And we want to congratulate Say the name.
Mame Biney, I think that's how you say it.
Yep, 17-year-old phenom, just qualified for the Olympics. I forgot the actual name of the event that she...
Speed skating, I
Speed
believe.
skating. Fam literally started off all after the gun. I don't know if they shoot a gun for this or whatever, the bell or noise, whatever. Fuck it was a gun?
Yes.
Okay, so after the gun, she just like was cruising after a little bit. Like she got to her head start and literally was cruising for the rest of the race. And
she's 17 and she's from DC, and the way that she got her head start above all of her peers, well,
they were white.
They're not her peers because they definitely are a little bit older than her, but the way that she got her head start and kept her head start just goes to show when you have access to resources and opportunities, like, we excel. And that's all I would say.
And that's the truth.
That's fine. Like, we know why y'all not playing fair. It's fine. We see y'all.
And we enjoy it. I love a challenge.
I will say that they were all equally happy for her after she won. At least appeared to be equally happy for her after she won.
Shout out to her family and the conversation they had in the car on the way. Not her, the other families. And the conversations on the way home.
Oh, well, you know.
But they were interesting.
Life.
Sucks us up. But that concludes Working While Black, and we will continue forward to our final segment, which is life.
So, this week for life, we do a lot of going out and things like that. So, this week we want to talk about meeting people out of college.
Meeting
like
folks.
Outside of college, like after graduation, like how do you meet people? Like, I realize that I suck at meeting people, but it's also because I don't like people.
Same.
So,
and I feel like we're
definitely
gonna have...
like meeting people way more than I do.
It comes at a certain time. Because
friends are hard to manage as it is, so it's hard for me to want to add another person to that equation. So, I find that I'm more so like looking for associates, and everybody just wants to be my closest friend. Or more. And I'm just like, can we just hang twice before you tell me your life story? So that is a privilege, I'm going to say. Oof. Because in my experience, this is more so, it's always surface ass level as far as like conversations. It's never anything in depth, and which I'm not mad about because I'm not trying to have anything serious right now anyway. I feel like I'm just now starting to, enjoy myself outside of like college, because when I was in college, all I did was work. I didn't even try and have fun. So like right now, I'm at a point where I'm just like, all right, I'm outside of school, a little bit older. I can do whatever I want to. I can go like to a bar. I can go to a hookah spot. I can go wherever I want to go and just chill, get to know people, go to a sports bar or whatever. Go to a basketball game by myself and just have a good time. And meet random folks and just have conversations about life. So that is one thing I am opening up to. But like as far as like relationship realm, that's not even something I'm trying to delve deep into at this point. I know we had this conversation.
People do a lot, and I don't have a time for a lot right now. I'm still trying to solidify my career while trying to at least find something consistent. It don't even have to be a consistent relationship. If I like, and I'm not even gonna lie, if I found something like that I enjoyed as far as like a partner, you know what I'm saying, I would be with them. But like other than that, no. Like,
so how do you meet people? Like,
with me, like lately, how I've met people has been like at bars, or if I meet people like at work, or if I'm just out like for an event or something. Like I just went to a networking event not so long ago. If you meet people there, you meet like-minded people. So it just depends on like the situation I'm at. Because I do take pride in the people that I actually meet, and like I actually am just like, if I really don't feel like it would gel well, is the best way I could put it, in all senses, not even just relationship, just career, mind state, what you're doing. I'm not even going to try and attempt to like. Sometimes people just be the people you meet when you go out, and then they just be that. Like, I don't take it any further, so I'm quick to cut that off. But like, what about you?
I guess like apps. Sometimes I meet people when I go out, but my
Tinder.
thing is,
Let me throw that in.
Like, I suck at following up with people. No matter if I meet you in the club, if I meet you at a restaurant or whatever, like, I'm really bad at following up the next night, like the next day, like especially at the club, because I'm just like, one of us wasn't in our right mind, so this could be awkward. Or like, sometimes I guess like for me, it's just like hard for me to just like step out the box and be social. So when I do meet people every now and then when I do meet people, it's always like, all right, I had this in mind, and then they had this in mind.
Oh yeah.
So it
That's
just
the
doesn't
best.
always. It's not the best.
Sarcasm.
I was like, it just doesn't always work out for me. Like, do you have any advice on how to like meet people?
Y'all, I don't have no advice for y'all.
Oh,
but as far as
meeting
meeting people,
swell.
it's like as far as meeting people, like my honest opinion, always be your true self.
Okay.
No matter in what situation you're in, as far as like conversation or whatever, like just just talk to people, like just be you, dog. Like when you go out in public and you see somebody, not even that you're interested in, if you feel like they could be a good friend, if you're out there looking for a good friend or somebody that you want to just, you're in a new city, you want to meet some people, you want to talk, so I have somebody else to go out with. Start normal discussion. Now, as I told you guys in previous episodes, I suck at small talk. But if I can find a common interest, we can talk all day.
I feel it.
Or even if they have something that they're really interested in. I love when people have drive about themselves. So if somebody's speaking about something that they love, like they're just like, oh, well, this is something I'm really interested in. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm like locked in on. That conversation can go a long way. Because sometimes I try, like, and when you meet new people, you try your best not to just always speak about yourself. It's kind of like listening to them, because you got to figure out what's going on with them, because that's the reason especially if you initiate a conversation. If they initiate it, then they want to know about you, like, and vice versa. But speak, you know what I'm saying? Figure out what's going on with them. Don't be afraid to speak to people when you're actually out, if you go out, or if you use apps, whatever. Make sure you reach out to whoever you reached out to, and or if they reach out to you, make sure you continue the conversation. And don't be like dry.
Shooters fucking shoot.
Boom.
I will say I'll shoot. I just won't follow through.
I'm not gonna say anything about what.
Cause I would, like, I'll shoot. I just will not follow through. The next day I'll be like, all right.
No judgment.
I met this person, and this person. The next morning I'll be like, all these new numbers in my phone.
What I do with them?
Delete them.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Oof.
But we have come to an end, or the end, of another episode of Grown Ass Kids. We hope you enjoyed. We're not doing socials because it's going to be in the description. You got anything else you want to say?
Shooters fucking shoot.
Amen.
Ball out.
Potato bowl. Christmas and cane, so you get a little more. You hit the liquor store, they close, you moping. So you hit the bar, cause you know it's wide open. Ho, ho, ho. Santa's in the building.